The remand copy in the horrifying black magic murders in Kerala is now out, and the remand copies are throwing up some fairly gory details. What we are coming to know by way of the remand copy, and our reporter is joining us in just a bit as well, is that not only were these women tortured and hacked to death, in one case, the body of one was chopped into 56 pieces and kept in a bucket. There are also details emerging of cannibalism, that after these occult murders, the accused, at least one of the accused, was made to eat the flesh of this woman, at least one of the victims. All of this to gain some degree of prosperity. As I said, there are 3 people who are now in custody, in remand, in police remand. One of them is the agent, the tantric, whose name is Shafi. He is now being linked to the ruling party in Kerala. There is politics that has started as well over it. But before we go to our reporter, listen in to what the police is saying, and then listen in to what the politicians are saying as well.
വീട്ടെടുത്ത് പോയി നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ വീട്ടിൽ ആളില്ല. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ എല്ലാ സ്ഥലത്തിലും നോക്കി, കിട്ടിയില്ല. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ചൊവ്വാഴ്ച വൈകുന്നേരം പോയി ഞാൻ പരാതി കൊടുത്തു. അതിനുശേഷം അവർ അപ്പോഴൊന്ന് കേസ് എടുത്ത് അത് ഒരു ബന്ധമില്ല, ജോലിക്ക് പോണ സ്ഥലത്തിൽ വെച്ച്.
Under the CPM rule, intelligence mechanism has completely failed. Second, CPM workers, whatever they do, they have a confidence that they can get away with that. CPM and the Chief Minister, instead of protecting such people, the message should be that nobody should be spared, nobody will be spared. His political background will not be a reason for sparing anybody.
Let me go straight across to Vivek, who is joining us live on the broadcast. Vivek, looking at the remand copy, this is not just a black magic or an occult murder. It goes way beyond that. It has perversion. That is what the police is saying, at least about Shafi, that he was a pervert. And there were unmentionable things that were done to the women before they were chopped up and their body parts was put into buckets. Also, there are reports of cannibalism. Can you confirm that for us, that particular angle, and what the police is saying there?
Yes, Shreya, let me tell you on that particular angle now, whether the body parts were made to consume by the accused in one of the cases, that is the case of Roslyn. What we understand is that when the body was cut into pieces and all the 3 accused had consumed it. Now this is exactly what the police had said, but in the remand copy that is not mentioned. In the other lady, that's Patmam's case, even she was murdered in the same manner in which Roslyn was murdered, where she was tied to the cot, and then her throat was slit, and then she was slaughtered, cut into pieces. Remember, this is one of the most shocking incidents that took place. I'm standing right in front of that house where this incident took place, and today I was reporting right from there. I'll tell you one thing, Shreya, that the smell of the human flesh, that was emanating from that place when I was standing there. There were 3 pits that was dug out just outside the houses, in which these body parts were kept, and that was buried over there. One of the murder took place in the month of July, and the other first murder took place in the month of July, and the second murder took place in the month of September. Remember, it was actually a man missing case that was filed by the sister of Patmam, which actually led to the entire case. Now, in the first case of Roslyn, the complaint was filed quite late. It was filed on the 16th of August. Now, by the time the man missing case, as far as Patmam is concerned, that was filed, and the police started investigating this matter. When the investigation came to this particular house, because of the CCTV footage they got, and also with the call records of this lady, they came to know that she had actually come here multiple times. And then, she was in contact with this person called Shafiq. Now, Shafiq is a mastermind in this case. He was a middleman who actually lured these two women and ensured that, this human sacrifice was conducted. He was a person who actually advised them to conduct this human sacrifice so that brings financial or economic prosperity to them. The family was actually, there was a lot of money they owed to the banks. They were liable to a lot of people, even though they had, properties. They were liable. In that is exactly what was taken. That actually was taken advantage by this person called Mohammed Shafiq, who actually is a tantric kind of person. He considers himself as a tantric. He actually disguised as a different person, and with a fake identity, he approached Balwal Singh through Facebook, and then had a relation with him, and then he told them about the entire thing. Balwal Singh and his wife Laila believed him blindly, and they were planning for it, and the two of these murders were executed in the same manner. Both of them were killed in the same manner, but in the case of Roslyn, yes, as you said, the body was cut into pieces and the flesh was consumed, and now the remand report has clearly explained the entire thing. As of now, all the three has been sent to judicial custody, and they will be taken for evidence collection, and they will be brought here in 2 to 3 days. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Vivek, for joining us with those details. This is a horrifying crime that has been committed in Kerala. There's a full-blown political war that is underway as well. I'm going to introduce my guest to you this evening. We have Mithun Vijay Kumar, who's a political analyst, joins us. Kevin Matthew joining us. George Kurian joining us. And Dr. Nisha Khanna is a psychologist. She joins us as well. Dr. Khanna, I want to first come to you. Look, fact is that in the last couple of years from across India, you have these crazy incidents come up where you have, gold medalist mathematician parents who bludgeoned their two daughters to death. This happened, I think this happened in Madhya Pradesh. In Andhra Pradesh, I beg your pardon, a couple of months ago, where they thought the daughters would be resurrected. We've seen the Burari hangings as well. We've seen we have seen multiple instances of people believing in the occult and taking drastic measures, as it were. In this particular case, Dr. Nisha Khanna, what is it that stands out for you? I'm just trying to understand the mind of Shafi, the main accused in this case, a pervert accused of cannibalism, and much worse, actually. It takes a lot for anyone not just to torture and murder someone, but to chop their bodies into 56 pieces and then to store them in a bucket and then insist that the other person eats them.
I would say, I think so. Somewhere we have to get into the part of our culture. If you know that in Aghoris, basically in India, especially in the Varanasi region, they basically use these and cannibalism on the regular basis because they believe it is the path for attainment. And when we have a fear of something, when we have a fear of death or dying, like the way this person's lured those women for either for the movie or because of the money and the fear of dying, or maybe once you will die or sacrifice the human body, you will get the money out of that. So this is one of the things, or like the way. So you have to understand is somewhere in our culture, and people still are, we are into the 21st century, people are still orthodox and believe that these things can happen. It's because of, if you say that, the people who are having psychopathic tendencies or the cannibalism tendencies, or sometimes they are suffering from schizophrenia or certain particular diseases of psychiatric illness where people kill off their like homicides, like those or matricides, patricides. In certain scenarios, these people have the born and brought up, and they think, like if you will say then the rape cases, or in 2006 and 7, especially the Noida Nithari that was very famous, where the person also killed so many people. In all these people, psychology, you find they are highly intellectual people. They use your intelligence into wrong ways. And when their plans are not fulfilled, they find like everything is fair in love and war. So we want to get that particular money, like we are not able to clear our, like the way in this particular situation, what the facts you are telling, that they have lots of money and they were not able to clear it. So howsoever they want to reach up to that level. So they will find it out the different ways, the negative ways, definitely to harm the person, like they lack empathy. So this is, if you remember that in the rape case also, the person, the victim was saying it, that I don't feel guilty. This person need to be punished. So these people are so much convinced with their own notions. And most of the time I have find in certain cases, they are taking drugs. They are under the influence of drugs or substance abuse. So it's not the normal, like either they are in alcohol addiction, either into taking of weed. I don't know, but how is this? Or somewhere these features are somewhere in the past, in the habit of maybe the dominance, control. I want to achieve, having ambitious, the maniac features are there. I can earn $100. I don't know, but today also I was dealing with one client online and the guy was saying, I want to earn 100 crore rupees. So you can say that ambition is true about the first dream of the person should be earning too much of money. So those dreams, if you will say the person is talking about, rather is like correlating with the reality.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. There's simply there is simply no concept of right and wrong. That I think is a commonality that you see in many such murders / incidents that happen, especially the people who are behind it. Mithun Vijay Kumar, you're joining us as well. I've tried to understand from Dr. Nisha Khanna what drove Shafi's mind. She says, beyond anything else, he's a psychopath. That's the word for him. He's a psychopath, right? This is a crime that happened in Kerala. Why make it political?
See, the problem here is we are not trying to understand the issue in the first instance, because yesterday when this crime was reported, you must have seen that Shafi's name was nowhere mentioned, right? Shafi was nowhere to be seen. His visuals were not shown. Only the man's name came out. Even in certain discussions yesterday in Kerala, I saw some Hindu tantrics were invited where they were speaking about the rituals and practices. This whole thing was done to give a visual image that this is somehow connected to Hinduism in particular. But here, the mastermind of this is Muhammad Shafi, who actually approached the man, Bhagwal, and convinced him that, okay, if you perform a certain ritual through the tantric named Rashid, which again was Shafi himself. So he first connects with Bhagwal Singh through a fake ID. He convinces him, and the man actually gets convinced. The man who is a CPIM branch committee member gets convinced that, okay, this is going to happen, and they perform this ritual at his home. 2 people were murdered. Now you see the delay of Kerala police in investigating the first man missing case, which was reported in June. It took them so much of time to investigate the incident, and even now you see there is somehow the Shafi's name is not coming out properly. So there is a political equation that's working out in this particular state because of for minority appeasement or for some other reason. They're not trying to give the clear-cut angle of this incident. They are somehow trying to showcase that this whole incident, the whole event, or the whole murder is planned by Bhagwal Singh and his wife himself. But that's not the case. Shafi is the mastermind of this whole activity, and somehow the political environment is in Kerala. Let me finish. Somehow the political environment in Kerala is becoming too conducive for the radical elements, is what the BJP or the right wing is trying to say, and that's a fact. Last month we saw, right, what happened.
But this guy is not a radical. He's a psychopath. Mithun, this guy's a psychopath. He's not a radical. You're making this about Hindu, Muslim. This guy is a psychopath.
But okay, he might be a psychopath. Then what's the issue in reporting his name? What's the issue in saying that, okay, this whole incident is masterminded by Shafi? Why do you have to, in the remand copy his name to make him? No, tell me, why does the police have to make him the first accused only today? Why was he not the first accused yesterday? Yesterday he was not the first accused, right? Only today he became the first accused. So there is a whole, chain of events that is happening in the political scenario, and for some reason they're trying to curb his name. That's what the right wing is all against.
Okay, Kevin Matthew, come in here.
It's quite interesting.
Have a point when they say, 8 minute, Kevin, 8 minute. But my question is this: Mithun and the BJP have a point. They have a point when they say that if Rosalind's murder had been investigated the way it should have been investigated, if it had been taken as seriously as it should have been taken by the Kerala police, then maybe Padman would not have been murdered. It is the Kerala police that A was found napping. Do you agree with that, or do you not agree with that? Because I agree with that there. Plus,
I
plus
agree
the
with
other
that too.
point that not just Mithun but the BJP is trying to make is that it is a deliberate move by the Kerala government, the left front government, to actually try and see that Shafi's name somehow doesn't crop up in the remand copy. It has, of course, but there was an attempt to shield Shafi.
Okay, Shreya. So now, first part, I agree with you. Okay, the first case was reported, and if there was a delay, see, our police forces are also limited. They have their own limitations, but even including that, life of each person is very important, and this is something that has to go beyond duty. So, if there has been a delay, if there has been a shortcoming, then that has to be definitely investigated, and culpable people have to be brought to justice. There's absolutely no questioning that. And had this been found earlier, the one life would have been saved, and there is nothing that can, match for the life of a person. So on that front, I completely agree with you. We're all on the same page. But it is so saddening that BJP is using even such a horrific tragedy to throw slime on people, to throw slime on the society. Yes, this is a one-off incident. It happened. It is horrific. It is gore. It should never have happened. But I don't think anybody is going to protect such a person, regardless of his faith, regardless of his political affiliations. Kerala is a society which has actually kept its community identities intact, its secular identities intact. We as a society coexist happily across caste, creed, and religion, much better than other states in this country. And on that note, Kerala is a society that has kept such things away and never let any of the political or religious affiliations affect the way our society thinks. Okay. And on that note, it is so sad that BJP is doing something like this. And the way Midun said it, it is only after Midun went to the police station.
But the fact is, Kevin, you can say it is sad, but it is the reality in India that if someone affiliated with a political party is involved in a crime, well, the party will be dragged in. Do you remember that a union minister's son ran over farmers in Uttar Pradesh?
Yes.
Was the BJP dragged into that entire account or not? Of course they were, and rightly so.
Of course, ma'am. See, there are two things.
In this case, if the two other people, not Shafi, but the two other people involved in the crime, the couple, are affiliated with the CPM, of course the party will come in. Of course the party will be dragged in.
Yeah, that's okay. If the any attempt. So what happened with the union minister's son was that there was a considerate attempt to shield him. Here, I don't think such an attempt has been there. The FIR was submitted by the police, so the police cannot every day come and give. They have their own timelines, and when they submitted the FIR, it was very clear that Mr. Shafi was the prime accused. He was the mastermind. The details in paper are there. The other part, what BJP is saying, that it was not in the media. These are all assumptions. It is not the Kerala police who put things in the media. Kerala police job is to put it in the courts, and if there is a shortfall there, yes, definitely we should take this. Take whoever is culpable to task. There's absolutely no questioning that.
Mithun, where is the attempt to hide? Before I get in, George, Mithun, where is the attempt to hide? Has Shafi's name not appeared in the remand copy? I've seen the remand copy. It's very much there. Is he not accused number one? He is very much accused number one. On day 1 or day 2 of the discovery of the crime, to play the devil's advocate here, the police also needs details, right? And those details tumble out after they question people. In this case, it was only after the couple were questioned that they gave out the gory sequence of events, which then made Shafi accused number one, and he's accused number one in the remand copy as well. So where is the attempt to shield him?
See, Shreya ji, when this incident
and why should they shield him? More importantly, why should they shield him?
He
This
shouldn't
is
be
a
shielded at all.
psychopath,
That's what
who was
I'm
on the
saying.
loose.
Yes.
No government in
Of
its
course.
right mind will shield them.
Expose him. Expose him. Why are they not doing it? Yesterday, when a normal activist,
And they've
is it a
exposed him,
question to
they've
me?
named him.
Is it a question to me? Because the voice was a bit choppy.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a question to me, right?
Yeah.
I see that that Kevin is talking.
No, yes, Mithun,
Okay.
the question is to you.
Okay. See, yesterday when this incident was reported, this was known to everyone, including media, that Shafi is the prime accused. Why was there a delay on the part of police to reveal his name? Because they had to get some clearances from the higher authorities, is what I believe. And coming to the point that Kevin has raised, his voice was a bit choppy. I couldn't hear him very well. But Kevin, Kevin was talking something about BJP, and I go with the assumption that he was talking against BJP. But Kevin, why are the left-wing handles so silent today? Why are they not talking about this issue? Generally, when there is a cow slaughter ban, a demand from some local leader in BJP in the north, there would be a loud voice, created in South, especially through the social media handles of CPIM and the left allies of theirs. But today, the whole social media brigade of theirs is so silent. The whole secular brigade, the whole left brigade, women's rights activists, all are so silent today. Why is it so? Why the two women who got murdered, they are not considered to be people who can deserve rights? They are not the ones who should be deserving rights. Why is the women's rights group that generally comes up with that generally creates a hullabaloo when some kind of accusation comes on a social media platform? They're all silent. Two women who were lottery ticket sellers have been abducted and murdered, and today nobody is talking. The liberals are so silent here. It's not between BJP or the CPIM. It's the silence of the CPIM or the left allies that is a matter of concern. And it's high time that CPM realizes that the minority appeasement politics is leading to all these issues.
Yes, Shreya.
George Kurian? I'm not sure how minority politics plays into it, but what explains the silence of the left is a question that Mithun is raising.
Shreya, I think I would like to answer that question to Mithun.
Shreya, I have to join in on another debate 6:30. So please give the courtesy. I'll just finish up my part.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead, George Kurian. That question was for you.
Shreya, I strongly believe this crime that has come to light out of Kerala is really disturbing and heartening. And the police in the first incidents should have taken cognizance of the case. Had they taken cognizance, the second incident could have been taken care of or safeguarded. Having said that, the police of the Kerala police has the ability to crack down on any case for that matter. They are known for that. And I'm confident that the police machinery will take its course and justice will be delivered in this case, and they will come to a conclusion. And this is not about accused number 1 and 2. It's a crime which has been done in totality with the involvement of all the 3 accused in this case. And something of this sort of incident happening in the 21st century in itself is a shame, and happening out of Kerala brings shame to a state where the literacy is on the higher side. So I strongly believe, one shouldn't fall for such superstitious events and, thinking that, that will gain them monetary benefits.
You talk about literacy. You talk about literacy. Blind faith, unfortunately, is not the exclusive domain of the illiterate. We have seen this in Andhra Pradesh, where you have had a highly educated professor, a mathematics gold medalist, butcher his 2 daughters to death, thinking that they can be, somehow brought alive, resurrected with black magic. So education, unfortunately, has nothing to do with it. But thank you very much for your time here. I believe you have to join another...
Right.
I believe you have to join another debate, so I'll let you go, George Kurian. Thank you very much. Kevin, you wanted to respond to Mithun as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, George. Thank you. Kevin, go ahead.
So Mithun's question was why there is a silence, unlike when there are issues in the north, when there are issues in the BJP Rule 6. I'll tell you exactly why, Mithun. Because today everybody says this as a horrific incident that should not have happened, but everybody has confidence. Everybody in the state has confidence. That, except people like you who want to politicize it, have confidence that justice will be brought for the victims, and this government, this police force will do everything it can to bring about this thing without favoritism. Unlike what can be expected of in places like Uttar Pradesh, wherein one union minister's son drove a taxi and killed so many people, and there was concerted efforts to shield these people. The people of Kerala, the people in this country don't expect that from the state government, and that is why there is not too much matter, because you know you're going to get justice, unlike what can be expected from your factually the states ruled by your party.
Okay.
And that is exactly the reason why.
Okay, so we've spoken about the political angle. I want to get into the psychological angle as well, Doctor.
I couldn't hear the response. Could you please summarize it for me?
Essentially, Mithun, now I'm moving away from the politics to the psychology of the crime. But essentially, what Kevin is trying to say is that yes, a horrific crime has been committed, and the people of Kerala and the people of India know that justice will be delivered, unlike what people believe in Uttar Pradesh, where a minister's son ran over farmers, and there was a concerted attempt to shield the accused. In this case, a minister's son. In this case, he's saying in Kerala's case, in the case of these human sacrifices, there has been no attempt to shield the accused.
Yes, that's an amazing
response. Okay, so what are you saying?
Left brigade is so silent.
Okay. Thanks to both of you. Although I think you'd want to wait on to the show for the next 2 minutes, because I want to speak to Dr. Nisha Khanna about the psychology. Dr. Nisha Khanna, I understand what you're saying about Shafi, that he's a psychopath, that there is no distinction between right and wrong for him, right? And he's highly intelligent. He's someone with great conversation and convincing powers. Therefore, he was able to convince the two people, the couple, to do exactly what he said. And what he said and did was absolutely horrifying. There are things even I can't say on television right now. Dr. Nisha Khanna, I want to understand from you. I understand Shafi's psychology, but what about this couple? They are respected in their society. They are soft-spoken. They've never been in any sort of trouble before. And yet they fall for a man like Shafi, who tells them to murder people and they are okay with it, then tells them to eat the flesh of those murdered people. They're again okay with it. There is something terribly wrong with this couple as well, not just Shafi.
When you say that the people who does such sort of serious crimes, as I said, they are not normal people. They are suffering from psychiatric illnesses. And you go and search out on Google, millions of people in this world or in India are suffering from different sort of disorders. It may be a bipolar, it may be a schizophrenia, it may be paranoia, it may be a list of disorders are there. So I would say, because in India, people are not serious about the mental health issue, which is the main concern. And people are not able to identify. If somebody is able to voice out, okay, these people have some mental health issues, they are not being able or taken to the psychiatrist or psychologist, because most of the time, the people who are suffering from such disorders, they don't acknowledge. As I said it, it's the equal amount of intelligence being required for being a scientist or being a criminal. Most of the studies or research always said that the psychopaths, most of the time, they are highly intellectual people. And you know that in India, the people are full of emotions. To adjust or play with others' emotion is an easy task. You can convince people very easily that, okay, as I said, it is in our culture somewhere that it is you have a fear of dying. If you will die, people will convince, like you will get the birth of a child. If you will give someone else's body of someone other's child, you will kill someone other's child. You will get a child in your family, in your house. So you can say that we are having a born and brought up in such cultures. If there are mental illnesses, they will say you have to go to the gurus, you have to go to the astrologers, you have to go to those mantras, you have to go into meditation. So I would say we are still in that in the 21st century. We are not taking mental health as serious as it should be taken. And we need to notice those signs when the people are doing certain things and certain behaviors. And that's what I'm finding it out in this particular case.
Okay.
They may be showing the signs, but nobody notices them.
Okay, we leave it there for the moment, Doctor. Thank you very much. And I'm going to thank our other guests on the show as well. Good to have this chat. What horrifying details are coming out of Kerala in the remand copy.